Vicky, because of the traits you picked up from that guy, you feel kind of like a little bit of hostility here. You can shed traits, right, that you've picked up if you want.
They tend to stay until I exchange them with another person.
Well, in this place, you do pick up some of the prejudices of the Seven Nation Army soldiers that you stung. So, just so you're aware, you would feel like a bit of haughtiness or like superiority.
She looks like she's itching her face really, really hard, like as in like gouging it, because this actually conflicts with like her overall personality. So her brain is like fighting itself right now.
You're all familiar with that kind of behavior if you've been in a cell with Vicky for long enough. So it's likely you want to do whatever you came to do and get out of there before she has an episode or something. What is it that you want to do down here, Vincent?
Take care of the guards and free the prisoners?
Kind of letting your cell members know that plan would be very simple for you guys because you likely have, I would say, like hand signals, non-verbal signals that you're gonna, can give to one another. There are, we'll say, 5 guards right now, 3 patrolling through the cells, 2 in a room that are currently watching the monitors. There's likely more of them, but right now, that's who's like walking the grounds of the locks, at least in this particular area of them. How do you want to take care of them? If all else fails, Joe is known to be able to do this pretty quietly.
Odessa can mess with one of the surveillance cameras.
Correct. You can actually. How does it look? What does your stand look like, just vaguely?
Really angular and colorful.
I was thinking like a tricorn hat.
Okay, yeah, you know what?
Because it's corner,
Yeah, you know what? I dig that.
So kind of like an angular humanoid figure with a tricorn hat. When you use your ability, I would probably say it looks like whatever it is that you're focused on looks like it folds up and then unfolds in a new location facing a corner. So it's almost like a person gets origamied and then unorigamied in a corner. So the cameras in the room, you don't even need to roll for it. They just get origamied and begin to unfold, kind of all in the same corner, staring at the same corner. Nobody notices this. None of the guards on patrol will notice this at first because it's just, I imagine, a silent ability, right? It's not something that really makes noise.
No.
It's like, okay. Once you have that, you now have the 3 guards to deal with. So if you let Joe take care of it, those guards will likely not ever be seen again. If you let Vicky take care of it, she can pick up information from them. If you let Gabriella take care of it, it's possible that she will get information. It'll be a little loud. And Odessa can sort of take care of them to gather them into a spot and then just fuck them up completely. Vincent, you can sort of do it, but
Joe, Gabriella, and Vicky each do one of them.
Gabriella should just go for like the centermost one and then pulls out like her stance.
Like with a gun or a knife?
Yeah.
Probably want to be quiet, so I recommend a knife. Give me a stealth boys roll to see if you can sneak up on a guard. Passive opposition for this one is 3 because they are on patrol.
So I'll use a fate die for this one.
You guys all have 2 fate die. Just the 2.
Okay.
What aspect are you invoking?
She hates the Seven Nation Army with all of her fibers, but she knows them inside and out too. So she kind of has an idea of how they function.
That'll help you sneak up on them. So you use a knife. Where do you aim?
I'd say around the center mass kind of area, like the back.
This guy's just on patrol, and he just gets stabbed in the center of the back. He drops his weapon and just freezes up as a door appears in the wound and opens up. This is going to cause crows to start flying out of the wound. They just start saying, caw, caw, big day, caw, caw, visiting General, big day, caw, caw. But it is causing a commotion, a caw motion, if you will. As the prisoners are grabbing their bars and staring out. Oi, what the fuck? The prisoners can see it, and they're getting panicked because you just stabbed the man in the back, and then crows flew out of him like a fucking pie in a nursery rhyme. So they're a little weirded out about that. It's gonna get the attention of the other guards, but Joe is on one of them. Anyone who's watching, Joe sneaks up on the guard and then touches him and creates a white spark wherever he made contact, causing the guard to simply freeze. The guard doesn't move anymore.
Oh no.
And then you can watch as the top of the guard's head begins to sizzle and the bottom of his feet begin to sizzle and burn. Both parts burning like a fuse, just beginning to burn this man down from both sides. And then he walks away.
Yeah, Gabrielle's just following.
You do notice, actually, so there were 3 guards, but for some reason, there are 4 extra keys hanging off of the wall. So wherever those 4 are, it's hard to say. There is still one more.
I feel like Vicky crawled up a wall, waited for him to come toward them, and dropped on him like a creepy spider.
With a 2, yeah, you can start tussling with them. I'm gonna assume if you're doing this, trying to go in quiet, you can at least get a tentacle around his mouth so he can't scream and
Yeah.
wrestle him basically.
And she is trying to get into his brain.
Oh, get the fuck over, you crazy bitch! Yeah, you can do it. Is there anything specific you want to take from him?
She wants to force the hostility she feels into him, and then she wants to take. There was a thing about the general, or maybe just general prison knowledge.
If you take the thing about the general, it's that there is a higher up. One of the generals of the Seven Nation Army is planning to visit this facility in particular. General prison knowledge would be that this is the type of lock, as they're called, prison, a lockup, where they like to flood it to get rid of people in here. So they just put them down here, and then they just flood the whole thing with water.
Oh, that's lovely.
And then just let them wash out into the ocean or into the channel.
When she's finishing downing the guy, she would very quietly whisper this to Vincent, right up into his ear.
Vincent listens and then nods and says, very good, very good.
Joe returns looking just miserable as usual. All right. I took care of it.
Gabrielle will look and say, did good, and give him a smile.
So you have the cameras facing the other direction. The guards are taken care of. The cameras, though, are facing a wall or a corner, and it's likely that somebody's going to respond to that pretty soon. So if you're coming to open up these prison cells, you should probably work at that. They are old style, just like actual locks on the gates and the cells, which you can use your stance to break if you'd like, or you can kind of handle this however you want. Vincent, how scary is Vicky to you?
Probably like a wild animal to him.
Very good. She is a little bit weird and a little bit spooky, but she is making her way to the surveillance room. In the meantime, the rest of you can open up these locks. Like I said, they are manual. Joe is just walking around touching them and causing white sparks to fly off of them as they burn down and then explode with a poof. The guard that he had touched earlier to ignite also explodes finally. Or did he? Because there really wasn't a guard there to begin with.
No.
In fact, those keys that I mentioned earlier on the wall, they aren't there anymore.
Oh
What?
my.
There's the ones that indicated there were 4 others. They just aren't there. They aren't hanging on the wall. So there were always 2 guards down here.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Odessa speaks out. I'm getting a bad feeling about this. I'm going to go to the Wild One once. I don't know if I trust her, to handle that in a efficient way. No?
Very
Right,
well.
right.
So Odessa's relationship to the rest of the group, I'm assuming she's like a planner, a thinker, a careful person. So that would probably be the dynamic there, right? Like Vicky is the one that's difficult to predict, and she is very much about her controlling thing. And Odessa is more of a careful plotter or planner, I would say. And you are able to kind of quickly whip them both down or sting them if you'd like. But since it's a speed roll, I'm going to say just completely whip them down and disable them.
I would like to steal the one who just radios in his voice. She would grab the radio and wait for someone else to talk.
Yeah, someone does. Oi, what seems to be all the trouble up there?
It's fucking boring, mate.
Oi! You boys better get your nuts and crackers in order or I'll come down there and whop you good. I swear I will. Pop you right in your gabber.
Fucking bring me a drink.
Oi, fuck you, I'm gonna.
Yeah, you better.
He hangs up angrily. Oi, over and out.
Odessa catches up at this point.
She would start to hijack the machinery so she could see. She would look over to Odessa and say, fix it.
What are you talking about?
She points at the screens because she doesn't like that it's all looking at a corner. She wants to be able to see things again.
Oh, yeah. She snaps her finger and releases the hold her stand
All right.
has.
Cameras will return back to their normal position. Vicky, over the cameras, you can see that Vincent, Gabriella, and Joe are breaking the locks on the cells and starting to release the prisoners. Joe will pick up one of the firearms from a disabled guard and just hand it to one of the prisoners, kind of making sure that it's loaded and then nodding.
He would point out to Odessa on the screen, the guy coming down his drink. Incoming.
Why is he coming anyway?
There was an alert. I made an excuse. She starts scratching at her face.
I mean, there's already all these bodies here. Why not just do the same to him?
Yes, make him a body, she says, like defensively holding the screens. Like she doesn't want to leave this place. She likes the control of the machinery and is like, her tentacles are hijacking into them.
The longer you're connected to this machine, the more you can feel that the system isn't extremely well made as far as security goes. You can probably begin to hack through some of that to reach other systems from this point. The two, you can begin to see where the other alarm systems are connected around the locks. It's difficult to get further past that, not because the system is overly protected, but because it's so archaic in its coding as compared to what you're probably used to, that this is like the equivalent of trying to use like a 30-year-old, like the government has computer systems that are just super out of date. That's what this is like.
Well, she's starting to turn off the alarms.
Vincent, you kind of are at the control or at the lead of these prisoners that are being escaped. Like they're getting out, but they're not sure what it is that they should do. They don't want to die. You may not care. You may. But what is it that you would like to try to tell them to do?
To take the guards' guns, try and hijack a boat, and leave.
Is there anything artistic that you would like them to do?
God, what's the nearest other boat?
You could do another ship city. You could do a rival football team. You could do
oh god, rival football team.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
By the way, Odessa, like, she can see the guard on the security camera, right? Whenever he gets to the end of the hallway, like, use her stand to make him face an inconvenient spot.
Okay.
Like, over and over, basically.
Yeah, he freaks out. You have gained access to a control panel that leads you to a camera that leads to a more secure dock of the Westchester on the Channel. A big boat is coming in.
She brings it up on the screen and points at it for Odessa.
Hush. She takes out like a piece of paper, rolls it up, and just like puts it in her mouth as like a replacement for a cigarette, which she can't have right now. We need to tell Vincent. Shit. I do not like the size of that ship.
Vicky, you can see there's someone on the boat, kind of at the head of it, with a bunch of people behind them.
He uses the camera to try to zoom in a little.
Closer and closer, you see it's a very strange looking man.
Oh no!
Oh shit.